Hello students, I am Aarti Sharma. We are reading the poem A Tiger in the Zoo from your main course book, First Flight. We have already done the 3 paragraphs. In these 3 paragraphs, the poet is comparing the tiger who is put up in a cage. What are his actions, what are his feelings in the cage, and if the same tiger is left in the jungle, in the free, in its natural habitat, how this tiger is feeling, how is he doing all the works. Now let us move on to the 4th paragraph, that is, but he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Now concrete, as you know, it is the building material which includes sand, cement, etc. So now again the poet has come to this idea that the tiger is locked in the cage. Now he is behind the concrete cell, his strengths behind bars. Now all his parts are put inside that concrete cell only, in that congested area, in that boundary only. His strengths, his powers are confined. Stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Now he is inside that cage, all his powers are inside only, and he is just walking, he is just following the length of that cage, moving from one side to another, and he is ignoring the visitors. Stalking means following, and he is ignoring the visitors. So let us see the rhyming scheme, the poetic devices that are used. The rhyming scheme, as you all know, is A, B, C, B. So the literary devices, the poetic devices. Next literary device is personification. Now here the tiger is personified by using he. Next is assonance, use of vowel sound e. He locked concrete cell. Here the vowel e is repeated. Then consonants, consonant sounds, s sound is repeated again and again in this paragraph. His strength bars. And there is alliteration, the use of sound b at the starting of two words, that is behind bars. Let us move to the next. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Patrolling, as we have heard this word for the police persons, those who are patrolling at night. They are, patrolling means keeping watch over. So we generally use patrolling words for the police people, those who are moving and keeping watch over the area. Now he means the tiger hears the last voice at night. Now he is caged inside the concrete cell, he is in the prison. So what he does, he hears the last voice, that is the voice of patrolling cars. Maybe they are the zoo people, those who are keeping an eye, they are keeping watch over the animals kept in the zoo. And stares with his brilliant eyes. Now he can only stare from his prison, from his cage, at the brilliant stars. So this was all about the poem The Tiger in the Zoo, where the poet Leslie Norris has beautifully explained the condition of the tiger when it is put up in a cage, and on the other hand in its natural habitat. Let us see the poetic devices used in the last paragraph. The rhyming scheme, as we know, A, B, C, B. Then there is enjambment. Line 3 continues to line 4 without any punctuation mark. Then there is alliteration, use of H sound, he hears. And assonance, use of I sound with his brilliance. This was all about the poem. Let us see the back exercises now. Now, these are the question answers at the back of this poem. Read the poem again and work in pairs or groups to do the following task. Find the words that describe the movement and action of the tiger in the cage and in the wild. Now, we have to make the grouping of the words and describe the movement of the tiger in different two situations, one in cage and one in the natural surrounding. Next is find the words that describe the two places and arrange them in two columns again. Now we have to describe the two places. Earlier we have to describe the movement of the tiger. Now we have to describe those two places. Now try to share ideas about how the poet uses words and images to contrast the two situations. So this is the answer for the first part. In the cage, he stalks, quite rage, ignoring visitors, hears the sound of the patrolling cars, stares at stars. These are the actions, words or movements that are inside the cage. And in the wild, lurking in shadow, sliding through the long grass, snarling around houses, bearing his white fangs, terrorizing the villagers. And the second part is the cage. As described, that cage is having only few steps. It is the concrete cell and it is locked. His strength behind bars means there are bars in that cage, and from there only he is terrorizing the village. And in the wild, shadows are there, long grass, snarling around houses. Houses are there, bearing his white fangs, his claws, and ignoring visitors. Next question is, notice the use of the word repeated in lines such as these. First one, on pants of velvet quite in his quite rage. Quite word is repeated. And in the second, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Now the brilliant word is used, repeated here. What do you think is the effect of this repetition? You.